So I believe we're live. So when I'll be playing the songs, you probably won't hear me, which is okay. I'll come back and I'll just say, hey. All right. Hey, everybody. Now let's cue the intro.
You are listening to Musician Today's weekly podcast from Violinist. Tune in for your insight into a professional musician's life and awesome new music.
All right, welcome everybody. Today's another episode of Musician Today podcast, and we have a very special guest who I'm about to introduce in just a second. I'm sure you know him from his established presence and a storied personality of the Electric Violin Shop. I don't think there's any electric violinist who hasn't met him in the world. So he started playing violin at the age of 3 in Battle Creek, Michigan. He studied classical violin at Michigan State, Notre Dame, and the University of Toledo, as well as summer camps and Blue Lake. He picked up the trumpet in 6th grade in order to join the school band, because his school didn't have an orchestra, and shortly thereafter discovered rock music. He was primarily a trumpet player through his high school and college, then joined a rock band as a trumpet player after moving to Beaumont, Texas after college. Then one fateful day, the guys at the band asked if he knew any fiddle players, so he brought his first Barcus-Berry pickup, threw it on a pawn shop violin, and relearned how to play the violin again. So years or so later, he bought his first Mark Wood Viper and started experimenting with effects and different styles of playing. He played well over 1,000 shows with his Texas-based band on violin, trumpet, keys, mandolin, and guitar all over the southern US and into Mexico. And in 2008, he and his wife moved to Greenville, North Carolina, and soon became a customer at the Electric Violin Shop. He now lives in Morrisville, North Carolina, and plays full-time with the Greenville-based band Spare Change, working at the Electric Violin Shop part-time. In addition to playing and singing, he's also a studio engineer and a live sound engineer. When he's not playing music, he's spending time with his wife, 2 kids, boxer puppy, and trying to come up with creative things to do with his hair. Also, to add, he has his own podcast called Rockstar Violinist, and he's interviewed amazing artists on that show, so go check it out. And welcome Matt Bell.
Hey, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. How are you today?
I'm peachy. I'm a little intimidated by all this stuff you were just reading. It's like, wow, sounds like I should go have a beer with that guy.
Go for it. So yeah, amazing. So you guys, just to start off right away, you can find Matt at his website at mattbellviolinist.com. On YouTube, find him by Matt Bell Violinist. Instagram, Matt Bell Violinist. Facebook, Matt Bell Violinist. And his podcast, Rockstar Violinist. So if you listen to on SoundCloud /Rockstar Violinist, you can find him in amazing interviews with people like Mark Wood, that Viola Kid, and all these amazing artists that I love and you love too. Okay, all right. So I heard, Matt, that you are producing a new album.
I am. It's I spent roughly 20 years of my life playing in party bands, doing mostly cover stuff and just a super wide variety of styles. And it was paying the bills, and it was great. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. And it sort of, that all kind of came to an end in December when I left the band that I've been with for 10 years. And it's like, okay, now what? Mm-hmm. So maybe it's time now that I'm like this decrepit, aging old man that I need to figure out what I mean and what I say and what I think musically. Mm-hmm. I had always done a lot of writing, but had not really hadn't really released any stuff that I thought was me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think this project is probably going to be an EP.
Ooh.
And then I'd sort of tossed around the idea of a full album, but I think I'm at EP level now, and I've already got the next project sort of spinning in my head. So
nice. I know the feeling. With the first album, you're already writing the 10th, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's true. Okay, well, why don't we have a listen to one? This is Being With You. Okay? Enjoy, guys.
Yeah.
Waking up, I just hit snooze. But I like whipped cream, like a big screen, like everything that's in between. I like sweet cheese, devotees, I like eating hot dogs, the best they do. I like high speed, I like intrigue, like a lot of things I'm willing to concede. But one thing I like most is true. I like you.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you know, I hate wearing socks and shoes too. I think it's like a music thing. Like we want to be free, right?
That's right. That's right.
So this song is fun and whimsical, but it's also written about your wife.
Yeah, it is. And I do want to point out there are no guitars in that tune at all. Everything you heard that sounded like a guitar is actually a violin.
Yes, nice.
6-string or 7-string violin. And, run through Marshall amps and all that kind of stuff. We like to get loud and shake the walls a little bit around here.
Woohoo!
But yeah, the whole squeeze cheese devotees thing, that's my wife. And she do love some squeeze cheese.
Nice.
And it's funny that writing that song kind of started out as an exercise. Hey, let's see if I can and I've got several songs that actually started out as an exercise. And songwriting is a lot like playing. in that it's a skill that you have to practice.
Yes, that's true.
So it's not just, the Beatles didn't just, wake up one day and yesterday just fell out of their head. They had written thousands of songs.
Yeah.
And it's a craft, it's an art, it's a thing that you do. So I won't say that I'm any good at it yet, but I'm practicing.
Well, it sounds amazing. So is that sort of like what you're gonna have on this new album?
Yeah, that's going to be one of the tunes on the album. I actually wrote that several years ago, and my band did a version of that live for a while. And so, yeah, that particular tune, I actually have played in public before with my band in sort of a different arrangement. But now it's mine and it's me, and I get to make all the artistic decisions. And,
yes,
yeah.
Awesome. So speaking of balancing you and everything else, so how do you go about actually keeping up an active career as a performer and having a family? And like, has it been a challenging journey?
Yes, it has been a challenging journey. The band that I just left, I had been with for 10 years.
Wow.
And we were doing 150 or so dates a year. And then I'm also pretty active in my church, so maybe add another 50 dates a year there. You're looking at 200 days a year where you're playing. And
Nice.
I have a wife and 2 kids, and it's definitely a strain. I can't say that it's not without cost. I was a stay-at-home dad with both of my kids. My wife was working a day job. My wife is actually a physician. And
Nice.
was working 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week sometimes herself.
Wow.
You just have to sort of use all 24 hours in the day.
That's true.
It's not music, as you know, is not a 9 to 5 job.
Yep.
It's not a thing that's only Monday to Friday. It could be at 2 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yep.
To work. So the balance is that when you are home, you got to be present.
That's true. Yeah. You gotta use all the waking hours wisely.
You have to use
Something
your
Gary
time.
says, yeah, that's true. It's the hours that you're awake that matter.
Right. And now if you're sleeping, if anything gets sacrificed, that's it.
Yeah.
The sleep is what gets sacrificed. So
Hello.
Folks trying to walk in on me now. Yeah. So yeah, if you can't sacrifice work time because that's what's keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
And you can't sacrifice family time because that's what's making it worth keeping the lights on. Then sleep is kind of what gets sacrificed, and having outside hobbies is kind of what gets sacrificed. People are like, what do you do for fun? You're like, well, I work and I spend time with my family. There's really not much time for other stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I can completely relate to that. There's either my family and work, and there's nothing else in between.
Right.
But that's okay. You're happy doing what you do, right? So that's what matters most. Absolutely. All right. Why don't we hear another song? And that one's actually a lullaby written for your daughter, and your son is singing on it. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
This is going to be a trip. Yep.
Okay. Enjoy, guys. This is Close Your Eyes.
Close your eyes, little one. Go to sleep, the day is done. There'll be more to explore in the morning. I'll be here when you wake.
All right, that was interesting.
You can give a 3-year-old a microphone.
I know, but he was actually in tune on some harmonies there, so that's pretty cool.
He's really not much of a singer, but it's all right. He's a much more talented athlete than I ever will be. So.
Well, teaching kids that age and some older every day, actually, I notice how they're really good at imitating. So when you do something, they will pick it up. It's kind of like this innate sort of, you can call it perfect pitch or something, right? So if you do it, they will do it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, everybody always asks me, like, are your kids playing? And honestly, no, they're not playing. We sort of put instruments in their hands when they were young, and they just weren't, neither one of them really was interested. My son plays a little bit of guitar now, but because he's kind of a metalhead like his dad. But
nice.
My daughter sings, but doesn't really play, and that's fine. It's not. Absolutely. Music wasn't something that was forced on me. It's something that I wanted. So each of them have activities that they do that are things that they wanted to do, and I wasn't going to force music on them. It's too hard to make a living in this business to get into it because somebody made you. Yeah,
that's true. I think it's like that in anything. Whatever your true passion is, you have to stick with that. So a lot of the kids I teach too, some of their parents just want them to do it so they're familiar with it, so they have some kind of cultural experience. But the truth is, in the end, you have to, in today's world, we're getting so busy. There's so much info that exists out there. There's an unlimited potential to what you could possibly do. You can create a unique type of coaching job for life for yourself. So anything, really. So music could be always a part of it, but if you want to do something else, absolutely, why not? Yeah,
you can tell with your students which ones are in it because they want it, because it's in their soul and they have to do it, and which ones are there because mom's making them.
Yes, absolutely. You can tell right away. So how do you go from something that sounds very rock and to something that's so mellow and a lullaby? What was like? Yeah, what's going through your head?
So, music is just what they feel like. Music is what emotion sounds like. And so I think, we have a wide range of emotions. So I think you have to be able to express those in different ways. And it, a little bit of that versatility comes from being in cover bands for so long where, you might have to play a Janet Jackson song, and then a minute later you're playing, a Charlie Daniels song. And it's like, you have to learn how to play these wildly different styles. You sort of learn how to do it.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. So, I wonder, how did you actually, was it through Electric Violin Shop that you picked up electric violin, or how were you introduced to it? Do you have a role model that sort of is like an electric violinist and you look up to them?
No, it's funny, you can tell from most of my original stuff, not Close Your Eyes, but the other stuff, my influences are mostly guitar players.
Ah, nice.
So I never wanted to be a violinist. I had actually quit playing violin. I wanted to be a violinist on the classical side when I was a kid, but once I discovered rock and roll, I was like, well, I don't, this classical stuff doesn't really move me the way rock and roll does. And that's why I focused primarily on trumpet for so long, because I was seeing bands touring with trumpet players. Aerosmith had a horn section, the Black Crowes had a horn section, Blood, Sweat, and Tears in Chicago, and all these rock bands had horn sections. I didn't see any rock bands with violinists. Apparently, Kansas hadn't made it to the little town that I lived in. This is all pre-internet too, so I didn't know about Art Wood, and I didn't know about all the people that were doing this stuff. I didn't know about Mahavishnu Orchestra. So I saw trumpet as the way for me to get into the rock and roll business. So when I ended up, the guys in my band in Texas wanted a fiddle player. They were thinking like George Strait kind of country fiddle. And I ended up buying this Mark Wood Viper, and it was like, my guitar player's like, hey, you should plug this thing into an amp because it looked like a guitar. So we did. I went, whoa, the first time I heard distortion and wah coming out of my violin, I was like, that is the sound I want to make. So I started hanging out with guitar players, and fortunately the town I lived in was infested with them.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, Texas is this, and we'll have a tune of mine, Exile, that we'll listen to in a while, but Texas is this hotbed of guitar talent. Stevie Ray Vaughan is from there. Eric Johnson is from there. Just saw these amazing guitar players. So I was learning from those guys. So most of my influences, honestly, are guitar players.
I can relate to that completely. Some people told me that my stuff sounds like Malmsteen.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know who he was.
This is a violinist.
Yeah, he's a guitarist, right? And I'm a violinist. Right. And so somebody interviewed me for their magazine, and they said, oh, was he your influence? I'm like, let me actually check who that is. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I know his music growing up from, like, it's familiar to me, but I don't even know. That's amazing.
Yeah, he goes the other way. He's actually a guitar player that was mostly influenced by violinists. Yeah, but my thing was more sort of Hendrix and Santana and Stevie Ray Vaughan and these rockers, man. Eddie Van Halen. I wanted to rock.
Love it. All right, why don't we have a listen to Exile? And this one, you are playing actually all the violins, yes? And
there's one little small guitar part in there, but the overwhelming majority of what you're hearing is violin, bass, and drums.
Violin. Amazing. Okay, this is Exile, guys. Enjoy. Nice. I think I heard a cow moo at the beginning. This is what I want my album to sound like when I get my electric Viper. Amazing.
Thank you. And the thing is, for me, is I'm not a virtuosic player. I'm not a guy that's gonna have these explosions of just virtuosic stuff. I'm very seldom
face melting solo.
Yeah, I'm not a Paganini level player, and I think it's important to recognize that. And for me, it's always been more about expressing emotion than it has been just these complete, mind-blowing acrobatics on the instrument.
And I think that's what speaks to people. So no matter what your level of skill is, I think that's the most important thing, right? So even just looking at YouTube, people who play these amazing virtuosic things, like, yeah, some of them get exposure, but most people who get exposure, it's not for that technique, it's for things that make someone feel, right? It could be very simple, one note piece, but it could just be so amazing that it makes everybody watch it, right? So I don't think it really matters to be super virtuosic anymore, as much as it did matter way back maybe in the 19th century.
Well, and I think too is that you've got to understand in the 21st century, it's about especially in a live performance, it's about entertaining.
Yes.
It's about being engaging with an audience, about being entertaining. I'm a singer and a player, and in the band that I toured with, we got 6 of us on stage that are pinging around like a bunch of nuts up there. It's about putting on the show and entertaining people, and not playing at them, but playing to them and with them.
And with them, yes.
So it's an immersive experience that people leave feeling better than they did when they came in.
Yes, totally, 100%.
That's what gets you paid.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you're wanting to do music for a living, you got to understand that some of the best paying gigs that you're playing, you don't come out of first position.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna, Canon and D is gonna make you more money than any of your Paganini stuff will. And as soul crushing as it can be to play Canon and D for the 5,000th time, and my God, she's gonna play the song again. And in the pop world, it's not Canon. I don't play Canon and D really, but it's it's Brown Eyed Girl, or it's like, seriously, dude, you really want to hear Margaritaville? Okay, it's fine. It's, if you want to get paid to play music, you're gonna have to play some of the stuff that you're not super excited about.
Yeah.
But you gotta act like you wrote it. You gotta act like, oh yeah, man, I would love to play Brown Eyed Girl for you. I would love to play Wagon Wheel again.
Yes.
And it's, what? Make it fun.
Yes.
People complain about Devil Down in Georgia, or people complain about Wagon Wheel. It's like, well, if it's not any fun for you to play, then make it fun for you to play.
Change it up.
Play it faster.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, do it in E instead of D. If you're so good that, you're just too good to play that song, play it in F sharp, dude. Now tell me how good you are.
Right. That's true.
So, you got, if it's not challenging enough for you, and you just can't possibly be bothered to play something that's not challenging, well, make it challenging.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Put an improv section in there. Change the key. Change the tempo. Do something. And, if it's not interesting to you, that's your fault, not anybody else's.
That's true. I had a teacher at university. She told me, you can graduate playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but if you know how to challenge yourself playing that, then you're good for life.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that. Okay, so we also have coming up Tantrum, a punk tune inspired by an argument.
My son, I love him to death, and he's a great kid now. He's 12 years old. He's fantastic. But for the first 6 months of his life, he was either sleeping or screaming. Those are your two choices. And the sleeping was not happening nearly enough. So my wife and I were understandably stressed out, kind of at the end of our rope most of the time. That was just our standard deal, was that we were strung out on baby crying. And she asked me to do something, like, hey, can you put this in the dishwasher? And my reaction was, I don't have to do anything I don't want to. And I was like, that was like the biggest 2-year-old tantrum possibly thrown. But I went, you know what? There's a song here.
Yes.
So I wrote the song, and then my son, on the outro of the song, you will hear it's his recorded debut. He's probably, I don't know, 2 months old or something. And was writing the song. I was like, he needs to participate in the song that he inspired. I pulled his pacifier out of his mouth. I stuck a microphone in his face, and he nailed it on the first take.
Nice.
You'll get that. This is an actual recording at the end of the song of my son doing the thing that made me want to write this song.
Amazing. Okay, let's hear it, guys. This is the tantrum. Nice. Now I know
That's right.
what I'm gonna do when I have kids.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just write a lot of really loud music. And it's funny. This is actually one of those sort of things. As I was writing this song, I was like, man, it's a stupid little 3-chord thing. It's gonna be too easy. I was like, you know what? A flat. I'm gonna do it in A flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sort of challenge myself to, and that solo was just that wasn't a written solo. Where some of my solos were more written solo. That was just an improv thing.
Nice.
That I rolled tape and improv, and that's what came out.
Yeah.
So it was, you got to challenge yourself to improv in A flat,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes if I think, gosh, I'm not really getting anything that I like, then maybe I'll rethink it and I'll think more in terms of G sharp. I'll play it in G sharp, which is, it's the same, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
If you're thinking in terms of G sharp rather than thinking in terms of A flat, you're going to play different stuff.
Yes, that's true. We do that all the time with my students. Like, replace it the way you think so that it works. Yeah.
Right.
That's really cool. So yeah, challenging yourself on anything, changing the way you do it. You could be playing one line of music that literally has like 4 quarter notes, but if you do it right, if you know how to practice it, this could turn into like a 40-minute workout.
For sure.
Amazing. So we still have one more commercial tune. And it was inspired by a friend who gets into relationships and makes horrible decisions.
Yeah, I don't want anybody thinking like that this song is autobiographical. This, if you listen to the words, the person and this poor person just is really a sweet guy and wants to be loved and wants to be appreciated. He just cannot, for the life of him, make good relationship decisions. And this song was kind of like the tension between like making medicine. Like, I stayed out too late last night and I sort of did some stuff that I understand. I came home and all my stuff's in the yard. But I just need to know that you love me, that that you're not going to leave me, and never mind my stuff in the yard. So it's this tension between doing awful things but expecting or needing a result that comes from the opposite of doing those things.
Yeah. I'm sure we've all been there at some point.
It's just, you got to put yourself in an emotional place in order to write. And this was really almost an exercise in writing something that's commercial.
Well, it definitely has that sound.
Yeah. So,
I think you nailed it there.
Yeah. Like, no guitars in here at all violins.
All violin. Amazing. Okay, guys, let's have a listen. This is Tell Me, Tell Me.
You
It definitely reminds me of one of those commercials from the 90s.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, okay, so what we have also, we like to have some fun on the show. So what I've prepared today is kind of like a rapid fire series of questions that you have to answer in under a minute.
Okay.
Are you up for that?
Always.
Okay, so some of them are silly, some of them are serious, but the main point is to not overthink and kind of give us the first answer that comes to your mind.
There's never any danger in me overthinking.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna start a countdown. Tell me if you can hear that. Can you hear me? Okay, all right, no worries. So we'll be able to hear it, but you won't be able to hear it. So I'll just tell you if we timed out.
All right.
Okay, so guys, are you ready? Matt, you ready?
Always.
Okay, ready? Okay, how long have you been a part of Electric Violin Shop?
4 years.
All right, at what age did you pick up violin?
3.
What are the names of your children?
Isaac and Micah.
Yay! Violin, acoustic or electric?
Electric.
Yay! What motivates you?
Love.
All right. Which YouTuber you just can't stop watching?
Oh gosh. I don't have any. I don't really follow any.
Okay. Your favorite songs to cover? Name 3.
Oh gosh. Sadly, I'll probably say Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Dave Matthews, Ants Marching, and I don't know, probably something by Hailstorm.
Okay. Name 3 people you admire.
My dad, my wife, and Ross Holmes.
All right. We're out of time, but okay, let's finish this. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Yay. Name 3 violinists you follow on Instagram.
Oh gosh, I follow 1,000. Chuck Von Trekker, Joe Denizon, and Mark Wood.
Yay! Okay, so we ran out of time. But anyway, thanks for playing. You deserve an applause. Woo! Okay, so now before we go, I would like to ask you one more thing. What would be the one sort of genuine piece of advice you would give to a younger musician entering the industry today who want to have an active performance career?
Gosh, it's
yeah.
You're gonna have to know how to do it all, but don't sacrifice all. You've got to be able to play, right? So obviously that's a super important thing, but it's not the only thing. And you've got to be able to handle your business, and that's a super important thing, but it's not the only thing. So I think it's a balance between talent and ability, but also marketability. I've seen too many people that go too far one side or the other. Like they've got like insane amounts of talent, but they don't know how to turn any of that into money. Or you've got guys that know how to go like market this thing, but there's no depth or value to that thing. And I think we can all think of people that have done that, right?
Oh yeah.
So make sure that you've got something, that you've got talent, you've got some depth of musicality, and you've got your business stuff together. And I guess the last thing would just be that it's authentic, that it's you. Don't try to be what you think the market wants you to be. You got to be you. Because the market, I think, really values authenticity over anything else.
That's true. Well, thank you so much. That's a helpful advice. I find that seems to be the theme with most of our guests. It means stay true to you. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
So much for having me.
We love hearing your music, love hearing your stories. And guys, you can find Matt at his website at mattbellviolinist.com. Is that where the album will be when it's ready? Is that where
I
we
think
can get the album?
I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. I sort of fly by the seat of my pants. So I wanted to get this thing done, and then the what now, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask some people who know better than me.
All right. So guys, follow Matt everywhere then. see if the album is there.
If you follow me, you will not be able to get away from it. I will beat you with death with this thing.
That's right. So go find him on YouTube, find him on Instagram at Matt Bell Violinist, on Facebook at Matt Bell Violinist. Listen to the Rockstar Violinist podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts. He's got amazing guests in there, and we would love to have you back. I am having a few upgrades installed to my system, so I'd love to invite all of my guests back in maybe a couple months down the road, where maybe you have more music ready for the release of your album, and you can tell us more about the process. That would be amazing. Yes? Okay. All right, let's do it. Well, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And
thank
looking
you.
forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, peace, love, and loud violins.
Yay! Bye.
See ya.
That's all, folks. If you like Iron Fiddle songs, download them at earornamental.com/music. See you next time.